Okay, now here's the next concept. Now that we've got the idea that when we play two notes together, that the beat frequency can actually sound like another note. Okay, so for example, we played the 440 and the 550 and we heard the 110. Let's just back up a little bit, right? Where do these notes come from? Well, they come from the standing waves that you've been studying. Okay, remember that both ends fixed and both ends open have a pattern that is 1 times, 2 times, 3 times the fundamental, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, right? It just keeps going up and up and up. It's just simple multiples. So if our fundamental is 110 hertz, the next harmonic is 220. Now, I don't have an A penny whistle. Okay, I don't own one yet. Okay, that'll be the next acquisition. So I'm sorry if you have musical talent here. These notes, this is a B flat penny whistle that I bought last summer for $5. So it's just a little more than a penny. Okay, now I'm going to play these. This is the fundamental. So let's pretend that this is 110. That's the lowest note. I can't get a lower note than that, and that's why we call it the fundamental. Okay, this, by the way, has what? It's got an antinode in the middle and a node in the middle and 2 antinodes at the ends. Now, the next note I'm going to play, and I'm keeping my finger, all the holes covered. I'm just going to blow harder. Okay, so listen, this is fundamental. And that's how I play the next octave. That's the only trick to it. Okay, there's really no embouchure. There's nothing I have to do. I just have to blow a little harder. Right, there we go. It's the my Sharona interval is an octave, right? So this is 110, 220. Not really, right? But there we go. Now, if I blow a little harder, and by the way, whistle players, I don't know. I don't think they use these notes, but this thing obeys the laws of physics. So if I keep blowing harder, and by the way, I have like toilet paper stuffed in my ears because these are notes that were never meant to be played by this instrument. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so you're going to hear 110, 220, 330. That's a fifth. That's a fourth. That's a third. That's a minor third. That is I don't know what that is. I almost got the 880. Okay, I'm so sorry. All the dogs in my neighborhood are like turning toward my house. Okay, so I'm going to play these. I'm just going to play them in order. There's 110. Okay, there they are, right? Okay, now think about like what notes can a bugle player play? Well, they don't have valves, so see on this instrument I can lift my fingers up and change the length of it, right? But a bugle is a trumpet without valves, right? So what songs can they play? Well. I'm trying to play Reveille, okay? But anyway, those notes should sound familiar because those are part of the Overtone series, and that's all that a bugle can play, right? Okay. Now, when you get up high, of course, the notes get closer and closer together. So if you play high, there it is, right? You can play any note you want, basically. You can kind of bend it or whatever. Okay. Now let's listen to some of these notes, and I just want to show you when I do this in class, I do this with lasers. I found a way to do this without lasers. It's a little bit lame, but let's take a look at this. Okay. I'm going to run this tone generators. I'm going to do 2 of these guys, just like I did before. Okay, and then I'm also going to run this Lysijuice simulation. Okay, and let's get this guy. This guy's playing 440, so let's get it playing. And then let's get this guy to play the octave. There it is. And then we can do this. Oh, look at it. It likes to do this little thing for us here. Okay, so if we play it in unison and we change this, what it's doing, I can change the relative phase of these things. And if I do it just right, what it draws is basically a circle. These are, I don't know if they're actually ellipses, but that'd be my guess. Okay. If I get the phase exactly right for these things, What it is it's got a horizontal and vertical frequency. They're the same, and so it just basically draws a circle, and that's because one is sine and one is cosine, right? Remember, cosine is just sine with a phase shift, okay? Now, let's mess with this a little bit, okay? I'm going to change this guy to the next note, which is 550. Okay, so the next note in the overtone series is 550, and this is our pretty major third. Da with its undertone, da. Okay, now let's see what that looks like, right? Now, if one is 440, this one is just a quarter more than it, okay? So I'm going to make this be a quarter more, so 1.25. And we get this pattern like this. Now, what's really cool is you can do this with lasers on the screen in the front of the classroom. And if you get it slightly out of tune, which of course things tend to be slightly out of tune, right? This pattern kind of shifts across the screen, and I try to hypnotize students with it, okay? Now let's go to the next one. The next consonant interval is 660. Okay, remember it goes 440, 550, 660, 770, and then 880. So let's go to 660. This should be a major fifth. Well, there's really, yeah, anyway, sorry. Okay, so 660. Okay, let's look at that. That is, this guy is 1.5 more. There we go. That's kind of a pretty pattern, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, that's a fifth. And these things tend to be, by the way, if they're even tempered, like on a piano, they're a little bit out of tune, but there it is. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Next one is 770. This will be kind of a jazzy seventh. And that would be 1.75. There we go. That's complicated. Okay, and then let's go and play the octave. An octave sounds a little off to me, but there it is. Okay, and then the octave in a Lissajou pattern looks like this. Let's change the relative phase a little bit. And what you can see here is that the vertical frequency is twice the horizontal frequency. So this is how you draw an infinity symbol, is that you go up and down twice for every left and right. You go up and down twice, two times for every left and right. And that's what it's doing, okay? I think my ears are going to bleed here, so I'm going to stop this video.